Welcome, everyone, to North Wilkesboro Speedway. Is just about showtime here in North Wilkesboro. We're glad you are with us as we get ready to go racing here tonight. The debut of Ram to the grid. 16 trucks ready to go racing here in North Wilkesboro. We're glad you can join us. Matthew Seeger on pole position. It is a Delta Sport front row lockout here amongst the 8 rows racing here tonight. Formation lap beginning here. Seeger and Edwards at the front of the field. Got Josh Gaiman, Cody Pinnell sitting in row number 2. Matt Forringer and Dale Markowski, row 3. Apologies on the overlay not working the way that we anticipated here tonight. Trying to get that up and running for you. We do have something up and running for y'all here tonight. There we go. See the running order as you're ready to get this race started. A bunch of Ram trucks ready to go racing. Green flag flies, and away we go. Off to the races immediately around North Wilkesboro Speedway. And the yellow flag is out immediately. Matthew Kent around wrong ways. Podium finisher, 3rd place in Texas a week ago. Finds himself a foul on lap 2. Let's take a look into the near wide. Just gets loose and kind of just half spins. It comes to a stop there against the wall. Just breaks loose on him. he is at the rear of the field. At the front, Aaron Edwards now has the lead over his Delta Sport teammate. As he leads the way. Split manufacturers for the Delta Sport drivers. Edwards in the Toyota, Seeger in the Chevrolet. Josh Gaiman, the highest placed Ram, currently in the field, sitting in there in third and fifth. Gaiman and Vorndra. Could have been now the Ford in the middle. So Matt Vorndra there sitting in the fifth spot. Jan Markowski sitting in sixth. Colin McDonough there sitting in the seventh spot. Got John Smeal there in eighth. Kevin Feemster in ninth. Aaron Conover. Not in the number 9. He's supposed to be in the 20 truck here tonight, but he is in 10th. Green flag flies, and away we go. First restart of the night. Edwards holds on to the race lead there. Caution out again, second time. This time it looks like it might be for that of Kevin Feemster. And indeed it is. And he's got a little bit of damage in the back of that truck. Take a look at why. Second caution of the night. From high above. Same thing as Matthew Kent, only Chris Fleming gets a piece of it. Less than ideal there for Kevin Feemster. But he is still circulating. Some damage on the back of that 17 truck. Cautions early here. Stages on lap 45 and 92 here tonight, so we got some running ahead of us. A couple of debuts coming in this season. There's Dylan Van Wart, the 32 truck on your screen. he came out of pit lane there, sitting in the 13th position. They're sitting in the 8th position. John Smeal making his first start of the season in 7th right now. Lucky Charms, Dodge Ram. It is Edwards and Seeger, front of the field. Away we go once again here in North Wilkesboro. Teammates working in stereo. The Delta Sport team first and second, third place. Josh Gaiman. Cody Pinnell in 4th. And you have Vorndren in the 5th spot. ABN on board. Oh, the 00. Dodge Ram. We don't have a camera set up for it. Not like we do with the other 3. I'll have to work on that for next week's race. But a good onboard shot here from Matt Vorndren of North Wilkesboro in traffic. He's 5th in line here. That's Cody Pinnell. In front of him, just behind him, is Dale Markowski. Had to really breathe out the throttle there in turn 2. You heard that on board as he got a run there on Cody Pinnell. Oh, he gets really loose there. Now be able to go out all the way to the wall. That's what's causing some issues with drivers. You can see that onboard. You saw Vorndren to snap the wheel straight to the right. Again, does it. Having to keep the truck tight away from the wall. Can't let the truck drift out a whole lot. A little smoother that time around through turn 4. This gives you an idea. And it is not just simple to send it through the corners. Vorndren goes up to the 4th spot. Gosh Jamin tries to keep honest the Delta Sport teammates that lead the race right now. Edwards continues to lead. Seeger in 2nd. All the way down through side by side. Almost 3 wide. Smeal getting around Conover. There is Steven Oberstadt a lap down. And you see the damage from earlier contact in this race. And that Dr. Pepper, number 3. At the bottom of the racetrack. Has pace to move forward. And right now is in the free pass position if another caution comes out. As it sits at the moment, the next caution, if we get there, will be lap 45. That'll be the end of stage 1. Up in 8th, Conover in 9th. Chris Fleming gatekeeping the top 10 at the moment. Remember, he had a little bit of contact there with Kevin Feemster on that second caution on lap 15. Trying to roll around the bottom of the racetrack there. To no avail. There's Matthew Kemp behind him as well, trying to recover from his spin on lap 2. On a little bit of an island, the number 40 truck. Not close really to the conversation just yet. There's Kevin Feemster. Saw Bryn Roberts in the 84, that Carvana Toyota. I'm sorry, the Carvana Ford. That is Toyota. Have it wrong on my end. This Toyota moving around right now in the 16th spot. Second car a lap down behind Oberstadt. Clear skies so far for Aaron Edwards and Matthew Seeger. They are 1-2. Josh Gaiman in third. Edwards runs middle. Seeger runs bottom. And Gaiman runs in the shadows. Cody Pennell adrift by 1.7 seconds. Currently leading the best of the rest. A little bit loose. Pennell ahead of Vorndren and Markowski. Gunnison in the 7th spot. Decent gap between him and Markowski as well. And caution is out for a third time. And Elris George will be part of it. Bahama Boss. Long way around, and that should help Oberstadt get back on the lead lap. Let's take a look. Actually looks like it's ahead of him. Who was it that was in trouble? Was it Aaron Conover? Let's take another look here. Very well might have been. And 100% it was. Huge contact there. Nothing Matthew Kent can do, the 31. And caution flies for the third time for truck number 20. Irish George, no part of that, was just behind it and checked up for it. Steven Oberstadt gets his free pass on the lead lap now. 13th place truck now in the pit lane to get back on sequence with the field, where Edwards leads the way. While we're at it, I'm going to pop up the QR code, bottom of your screen. ABN Studios on Patreon. Exclusive content and coverage for as little as $5 per month. Same as a Twitch sub as we get ready to move over to YouTube beginning April 1st for all of our live content. And additional stuff, ABN Champ Car released this morning on Patreon as well. That one's free to view for everyone. QR code gets you there. Appreciate the support you've given us so far this month. We look to make ABN Studios do a little bit more in 2026. Aaron Edwards leads the way. Matthew Seeger in second for Delta Sport. Josh Gaiman in third and Cody Pennell in fourth. As we get ready to go back racing here in North Wilkesboro, green flag flies, away we go. Sport teammates once again out in front. Our stage ends lap 45 and lap 92. single file once again. Just trying to get to the end of stage one. There'll be a caution at the end of lap 45 to get the field back together. Top 10 scores stage points in both stage one and stage two. Here comes Matthew Kent, fresh tires for the number 31. Hard charging like he did a week ago in Texas. Looks to the inside of Markowski, and not a lot of fighting there as Matthew Kent moves forward for the 6th spot. Now trying to chase down Matt Vorndren. Time ticking away quickly. 3 laps to go in the stage. Front of the field has not yet come down pit lane. Matthew Kent came down pit lane under the most recent yellow. And those fresh tires do make a difference. It gets right to the bumper of the 00. Sends it to the bottom of the racetrack. Don't know if he's gonna be able to pick off everyone up here, but he might be able to pick off the 00 here. White flag in stage one. He's 5th across the line. Has to roll it in a little bit more gently. Vorndren sends it up top. Seeger will win stage one over Aaron Edwards. Matthew Kent takes 5th. Behind Cody Padell, Josh Gaiman, Aaron Edwards fills out the in-between there in the top 5. Matt Vorndren in 6th. Then it's Dale Markowski, Chris Fleming, Colin McDonough, and John Smeal grabs the last stage point in stage number 1. And those that had not yet pit have done so now. Brent Roberts will join the lead lap. So he is now going to get back on the lead lap here. That will give us all 16 trucks back on the same lap. And as the field comes in for their stage break pit stops here. And Matthew Kent, remember he came down pit lane just a few laps ago. Back out, fuel only for the 31. He will now take over the lead of the race. Cody Pennell in 2nd. Took 2 tires on that 28 truck. Everyone else, line astern, Seeger, Edwards, Gaiman, Vorndren, Roberts, Markowski. Obviously, Brent Roberts will have to come down pit lane this time. He'll move to the back of the field anyway as the free pass recipient. There you go. Look like the 32. Something's wrong with the 32 truck. Going a lap down for some reason. I'm not entirely sure as to why. Or is George also a lap down now? Very peculiar what's going on here. As these trucks are cycled to the back of the field. The 32 and the 40. Now a lap down under caution. And we're going to get ready to go racing here. To start stage 2. 4 yellows so far in this race. It is Matthew Kent and Cody Pennell at the front of the field for the first time. And they're going to extend the yellow one more lap. As the lights on the truck now back on. I'm assuming because now they're trying to figure out what happened here on the timing and scoring. For Dylan Van Wart and Eris George to both be a lap down under yellow. Van Wart was given instruction to fall back and become a lap down. And we're not entirely sure as to what happened there. We're going to try this again. No adjustments to position between the 32 and the 40. So back to 14 trucks a lap down, but it's a different rotation of trucks a lap down. Green flag flies, away we go. 4th restart now underway. A little loose. Cody Pennell, a little bit of help there, I think, from the 16 of Matthew Seeger. Edwards got right to the bottom of the racetrack and drives right around Matthew Kent. Here comes Josh Gaiman, second place. And trouble, Vorndren. And he gets hit by Markowski and Roberts. Little hot on the brakes, it looks like there. Fifth caution, here's why. Just lights it up a little bit on the entry to turns 1 and 2. Markowski can't really go anywhere. And Jordan Roberts runs into the track blockage. Not a lot of space to go. Second look here. I want to take a look slow motion and kind of see how quickly it all kind of falls apart. Here we go. ABN quarter speed. It brakes on him immediately in turn 1. The truck just begins skewing. Instantaneous. Really good avoidance there. Cody Pennell, nowhere to go. He has to slow way up and change lanes. Markowski's trying to do the same, but can't get slowed up in time. He sees it later. He gets a nose full of Dodge Ram, as does Bryn Roberts. Running on board. This is with Vorndren. We'll go back with Roberts. As this all falls apart. And smoke, smoke, smoke. Don't know where the truck is. There it is. It's about the thought process you get when you come across a crash. You're trying to blow up. You're also trying not to wreck yourself. So you hit the brakes and you spin, like what Vorndren did. Or you try to just ride through it. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. Get ready to go back racing. Here, fifth caution, fifth restart coming up. The Delta Sport teammates have been separated. First and fourth now for Seeger and Edwards. Josh Gaiman, Matthew Kent in between. Green flag flies, away we go. Aaron Edwards goes well up the racetrack there. To no avail. Does grab third, though. Matthew Kent a little bit slower on that restart. But here comes Josh Gaiman. Hot in pursuit. Got to the quarter panel of Seeger. Side by side they go. Chevrolet versus Dodge for the first time. In high octane and side by side. Oh, in the fence goes Josh Gaiman. Pushed a little too hard. And now he's got to deal with holding on to second place if he can. Does so at the line there. Got a little bit overzealous on the gas pedal there, Josh Gaiman. We've seen that before. Only that time it didn't cost him nearly as much as it has at places like Dover. Got to rein it in a little bit. It's a long race. Covers, keeps Aaron Edwards at bay. So Delta Sport still first and third. It's stage 2 ending lap 92. We still got to try to get through 31 laps. And Gaiman goes around in a big way. Gets helped around for his trouble. And cautions out, and this one's a big one. just talked about it. Josh Gaiman, a little bit too heavy throttle. The left foot, and it gets him that time. He was trying to dance a very fine, thin line, and now he's in the back of the field because of it. Let's take a look from high above. And it's on the throttle. He just heavy foots it out of turn 4. Edwards, very minimal contact there. Cody Pennell slams right into the back of Chris Fleming, who was trying to avoid the melee. Dylan Van War, he spins out trying to avoid the crash as well in 32. Bahama Boss, Edwards George gets back on the lead lap here, so we get all the trucks back on the lead lap. And as soon as he gets back on the throttle here, we'll back it up a little bit so you can kind of see what we're talking about. So this is mid-corner, 3 and 4. And listen to how quickly he gets back on the throttle and how sharp that sound pops up. Just immediately rev spikes it. And you watch the revs on the dash spike as well. Just tries flooring it, and it doesn't bite. He said throughout his career, he's his own worst enemy sometimes, and that's part of the reason why. And now he's got to go to the back of the field, your 13th place. And we've seen that is not easy to come back from. And that will give the Delta Sport teammates the front row once again. Matthew Kemp holds on to third. Colin McDonough in 4th. And then you have a bunch of your Dodge Rams, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 4 of them in the top 10. Pace truck rolls in. Cody Pennell, his day is done. 63 laps in the books. He has had the car of the day. So 15 trucks still rolling, all of them on lead lap, and away we go. Green flag flies. Seeger to the bottom, Edwards up top. A little bit of contact between the teammates. Door to door. Out of turn 2. Are we going to see the same thing happen in 3 and 4? Not quite. Seeger leads. But it's not by much. Edwards driving just a little bit harder on the outside of the racetrack there. And cautions out again. And this time it's once again Josh Gaiman, but also Chris Fleming once again. So the 18 and the 61. Second time in succession. More damage than the first go-around. And Gaiman immediately coming down pit lane. Something amiss on the 61. Let's take a look as to why. Slow motion here. That's Fleming in the 18. Gaiman in the 61. And it looks like it's same thing that happened earlier in the race with Matt Vorndren. Just heavy-footed, this time on the brake pedal, not the accelerator. Nowhere for Fleming to go, and he gets pancaked into the fence. First race in the Ram for Josh Gaiman, and it has been a lot of lowlights, unfortunately. Doesn't seem like it affects Gaiman too awful much compared to Chris Fleming, the 18. He got a lot of damage in his machine. That Dodge Ram also in trouble. Gaiman's still struggling, still on pit lane. As you see Chris Fleming trying to get more repair work done on that 18 truck. He will rejoin the fight in the 14th spot. still in the first 75 laps of the race here in North Wilkesboro. Out on the pace truck, which means we're getting ready to go racing. 7 cautions, though, and 72 laps. Not a good omen, as we have 103 laps to go. The latency from Aaron Edwards doesn't help either, but he leads the way over his teammate Matthew Steer. Colin McDonough in 3rd. Matthew Kent 4th. Stephen Oberstadt from a lap down to the top 5. He's in 5th. Green flag, and we're underway. 7th restart of the night. And whoa, a little bit of help. Seeger tries to get back to the lead of the race. Unders his teammate. A little bit of contact between the teammates. Seeger's championship racing. Aaron Edwards, to our understanding, is not. Remember, rule number 1, boys. Don't wreck your teammate. They left the field behind, though, in their battle. Normally, when you're battling side by side, you lose time. I think they're the first teammates I've seen that can battle and gain time on the field. 7/10 between Edwards and Matthew Kent as he tries to hold on for 3rd. McDonough in 4th. Stephen Oberstadt, the Dr. Pepper number 3, in 5th. Then you have a gaggle of cars behind. That is Smeal, that's Feimster. Fornsman's recovered. Trouble behind. And it's the 32 again, who has spun around backwards. It is the 32 of Dylan Van Wart. So it's our 8th caution. We are averaging less than 10 laps per yellow. Not a good omen. Let's look at what happened to Dylan Van Wart. Just a little loose. Gets a little bit of help there at the end from Elwes George. Not enough, though, to say that that is on the 40. He was already over 45 degrees sideways by the time there was contact there. Not a lot of contact, but enough that it'd be noticeable for the 32. And down pit lane he is. As the rest of the field stays slightly clustered here. Here in North Wilkesboro, it is a bit of a mess. Josh Gaiman will get one of his laps back. He is now 2 laps down. Gaiman back of the field. A scenic look here around North Wilkesboro Speedway as we get ready to cross the halfway point, hopefully before another caution. You see the field rolling around together. 15 trucks still rolling here in North Wilkesboro. We're glad you're spending your Saturday night with us. As the green flag flies, away we go. Seeger leads the way over Edwards. Stage 2 ends on lap 92, so we got 11 laps to go to get to the end of the second stage. Delta Sport 1-2, a little bit of elbows out between those two teammates earlier on in this race. Steven Oberstadt up to third. He's gotten around Matthew Kent. His Chevrolet is rolling pretty well right now. One of the short track kings here in ARCS. Started a little bit rough earlier on, went a lap down early. Got a lap back and has kept his head down. And now sitting up in the top three, trying to chase down the Delta Sport teammates as they try to chase down each other at the front of the field. John Smeal a little loose there out of turn 2. Good job saving it, but we'll lose a little bit of time in position. That's McDonough, the 39, making his way around. Bren Roberts trying to do the same. And then Matt Vorndren. Ooh, car on the fence. Vorndren. Spiel went up the racetrack, chased it up the racetrack, and ran out of room. Still side by side they go. Behind them, that is Feimster the 17, that Gatorade machine, and then you have the 33 of Dale Markowski. You have Josh Gaiman 2 laps down. His nose is in the mix once again. Aaron Conover right behind. And that white Dodge machine, and whoa, trouble! Markowski goes wrong way around and cautions out for the 9th time. And that is some pretty extensive damage on the back of that 33 truck. In trouble, Roberts and Van Wart have come together later on. So a couple of things to review here. Let's start with Dale Markowski up above, ABN quarter speed, slow motion. We'll actually speed it up here just a little bit because it's into turns 3 and 4. And does Smeal get a little bit of help from Josh Gaiman? No. Just gets a little loose mid-entry. Chases it up. Looks like it starts loose, gets tight, and he tags a 33. Now, what happens here? So, Brent Roberts gets loose out of 4. And he gets loose again. Tries flooring and just gets loose a second time. And the 30... I have a lot of words for that one. Usually I can get some narration on that. I don't have a lot of words to describe that one. Pit stop's underway here in North Wilkesboro. That did end the stage. So the stage ended early. As it did at Texas, stage 2 ended early. We're going green with about 82 laps to go, I do believe. Josh Gaiman gets 1 lap back, so he's now just 1 lap down. George gets the free pass. Now it's Aaron Edwards and Steven Oberstadt front of the field. Not the greatest pit stops there for Matthew Seeger, who ends up 11th. It is Aaron Edwards at the front, and the Delta Sport teammates now the furthest apart that they have been all race. And Steven Overstap, one of the short track kings, front of the field, outside front row. So a green flag fly. Steven Overstap asleep a little bit on that restart. Matthew Kent on it, but couldn't capitalize. And a little bit of latency again for Aaron Edwards. A couple times we've seen that now. Steven Overstap, second place. Settling in a little bit here on this restart. He's that trying to chase down the 15 of Edwards. There's clear skies ahead of him. Matthew Kent sitting there in third. Sitting steady at the moment. Both him and Vorndren a little bit tight there and loose. Loose for Vorndren, tight for Kent. Kent tagged the wall. And now it's a two-horse race once again at the front, but not between the teammates. Seeger, though, he's made his way back up into the sixth spot. He is climbing rapidly. And right there behind McDonough in the 39. Ooh, a little bit of contact there with Seeger. Got a little loose, a little free out of turn 4. Seeger keeps it pointing in the right direction and grabs fifth for it, and McDonough struggles again. This time out of 2. Running around the outside now is Feimster, the 17. Fred Roberts up in 8th. He got around John Smeal. And Chris Fleming holds the edge of the top 10 at the moment. Getting around on board with Colin McDonough. He's got one of our roof cam onboards as he tries to battle there with the 17. To no avail. He's going to lose another spot, dropping down to 7th place. He watches Feimster rolls away. Battle for the 4th spot between Seeger and Vorndren. The Madam Matt show. Vorndren a little loose there out of turn 2, excuse me. Allows Seeger to get through there entering turn 3. Just a little bit too much on the power application there for Vorndren. And loses out on that 4th spot. Still the best placed Dodge Ram in the field, sitting in that 4th spot, in that 5th spot now. Feimster in 6th, Smeal in 9th, are your Rams in the top 10. 6 of them in the field. Sorry, 7 with ours George moves around. Only 3 in the top 10 at the moment. Aaron Edwards continues to lead the way. He is left Steven Oberstadt behind to the tune of 0.7 of a second. That was Dylan Van Wart that was on the bottom of the racetrack here, rolling at the bottom. Everyone's trying to get around now. Matthew Seeger leads. Sorry, Aaron Edwards leads the way. Matthew Seeger up to 4th. Looking at the back of Matthew Kent. A lot of work for him to do here in North Wilkesboro in this 3rd stage. Having to battle up from 11th on the restart. And what has quickly become our longest green flag run of the night. If this goes green all the way through, there will be a pit stop made under green for everyone in the field. Seeger battling hard with Matthew Kent here for 3rd. Does he get clear? Yes, he does. Delta Sport 1st and 3rd once again. Now in his sights, Steven Oberstadt. Battles here. It's about a 4th now raging on. A little bit of a mistake by Matthew Kent a lap ago as allowed Matt Vorndren, excuse me. A lot of Matts in this series. Seeger, Vorndren, Kent. Vorndren and Kent side by side. Through 1 and 2, and Vorndren takes over that 4th spot. Caution's out, and the 32 in trouble once again. And he immediately towed the pit lane, so something was amiss. We saw him really ailing at the bottom of the racetrack a couple laps ago. But our green flag run now interrupted by the 32. And just sends it in way too deep there. Not a lot of contact, but I think he is not having fun his first race of the season being at North Wilkesboro. Can't say I'd be surprised if he calls it a day. Already 7 laps down. Cannot be surprised if that becomes the case. Josh Kamen gets the free pass. He gets back on the lead lap. Less than 60 laps to go. Colin McDonough stays out. Aaron Edwards and Matthew Seeger end up nose to tail once again. There's Seeger. He's ahead of Oberstadt now. As Kamen comes down after getting the free pass. So this will be interesting. Teammates 1st and 2nd. It's all about where McDonough decides to place his 39 truck. He has not come down pit lane since lap 90. That was when we had our last caution. This is now our 9th caution of the race. Almost 20 laps of green flag running. Sorry, almost 30 laps, actually. 25 was the official number. McDonough shows the bottom of the racetrack. We're going to see the difference in 30-lap tires on this restart. It is not going to be fun for McDonough. What you're about to see is going to be interesting, to say the least. I have a feeling the appropriate term is going to be run over. Green flag flies, away he goes, and he just has no drive. Those worn tires already nothing there. Can't even get to the bottom of the racetrack. Seeger drives by him, so does Oberstadt, and he immediately realizes he made a mistake. Great in theory, but way too many laps left in the race to try to think about track position. Take the tires and run with it. Because if we get another long green flag run, he will go a lap down in 30 laps. With how fast the Delta Sport trucks have been tonight, it'll happen. Steven Oberstadt, though, in the mix, and caution is out and bails out Colin McDonough. It is John Smeal this wrong way around. His truck goes the wrong way round. And that'll give us our 10th caution tonight. And you see, it already happens early. This happens really early in turns 3 and 4. Let's take a look here, and let's go full speed. Does he get help? Oh, 100% he gets help. That's why. Gets help from Markowski. Almost saves it, to his credit. Almost drifts it all the way around turns 3 and 4. Unfortunately, he can't finish off the drift. But he 100% got help. I want to ride on board Markowski here and see what he sees. Gets right behind him and just helps him in there. But I'd like to see you use him as a brake a little bit. Did Markowski. John Smeal came in, checked to see if there's any lingering damage. All good there. Topped off with fuel. And got him back on his way. And without any surprise, McDonough decided that his experiment was over. 4 fresh tires, and he will accept those lashings at the back of the field. As we are now at 50 laps to go at the line. We'll be going green, it looks like, with 49 laps to go here in North Wilkesboro. Aaron Edwards, Stephen Oberstadt, Matthew Seeger, and Bren Roberts, your top 4. Matt Vorndren, Matthew Kent, Dale Markowski, and Aaron Conover, your top 8. Josh Gaiman up in the top 10. John Smeal in 10th. 32 Dylan Van Wart is circulating still. Did not retire. But it has been a struggling race. He is now the only truck a lap down. He is 8 laps down at this point. Edwards and Oberstadt, front of the field. Green flag flies, and away we go once again. 10th restart, wheel spin for Bren Roberts. That Carvana 84. A little loose on the throttle application there. Struggling to hold on to the 4th spot. Delta Sport trying to gang up on Team Ralph. And caution once again. Freezes the field. Oberstadt in 2nd. And it is Conover in his Dodge Ram. Wrong way round. Here's why. Checks up a little bit. It's Markowski's getting a workout. So does Smeal. Everyone just driving super deep in the corners here on the restarts. It happened there again. 20 becoming the latest victim in our 11th caution of the night. Sits at the back of the field, 12th place, and that will give the 32 one of his 8 laps back Will now be 7 laps down. Aaron Edwards front of the field. The Delta Sport teammates remain first and third, with Stephen Oberstadt in the middle. First race at Modern North Wilkesboro has been a bit of a crawl here. 11 cautions and 131 laps. Delta Sport trying to close this one out. They're first and third at the moment, with Edwards ahead of Matthew Seeger. Got Matt Vorndren there in the 00. He's in fourth behind Stephen Oberstadt on the outside lane. Green flag flies, away we go. 11th restart tonight. Stephen Oberstadt sends it high and dry on the outside lane. He's going to get there. Put on your dancing shoes. We got a fight at the front of the field. Edwards leads that lap, but he feels the pressure. Oberstadt high and mighty on the outside lane. Has the advantage. Doesn't get clear, but has got a nose out in front. Edwards has to drive in deep. New race leader, Stephen Oberstadt. Edwards drives up the racetrack a lot. Whoa, contact. They are giving it all the beans right now. Edwards gets clear. That little mistake out of turn 2 for Oberstadt was everything Edwards needed. But Oberstadt's not going to give it up. Remember, so it's so different in turns 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I haven't mentioned it here tonight because it's been so long since it's been here. This is not a symmetrical racetrack. You are downhill entering turns 1 and 2. You're uphill facing 3 and 4. So it's a lot easier as caution comes out for a 12th time and it's Elrich George. It's a lot easier to make the outside lane work in 1 and 2 because you're carrying momentum. You're carrying gravity's momentum, really, down the racetrack into 1 and 2. Let's see if we can run aboard. Oberstadt's got one of our roof cameras. We'll see if we can grab a look here. We'll also look at what happened with Elrich George. I saw him go spinning around wrong ways. What happened here to Elrich George? Does he get help from Chris Fleming? No, he comes across the... We need to look at that. He does get a lot of help from Dylan Van Voort, though. The 32 will not get a free pass as a result. Does Fleming just come up into him, or does Elrich George come down? This is high above, slow motion. I want to say 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Elrich George comes off the wall a little bit, but Fleming's also coming up the racetrack a little bit. I'm going to say a bit of half and half, 50-50 on those two. That's the more concerning part for Dylan Van Voort and Elrich George, is that hit does a little bit more of the damage. Bryn Roberts has called it a day after 128 laps. So we're down to 14 runners. And right now they are led by Aaron Edwards, who is not happy we're under our 12th caution tonight. He had finally figured out a way around Steven Oberstadt, and now he's got to do it again. Race truck is in. Edwards, Oberstadt, Vorndren, and Gaiman. Seeger came down pit lane that most recent caution to get some tires. And away we go. Steven Oberstadt asleep on that restart, but so is the rest of the field. Vorndren drops a spot to Gaiman. I do want to take a chance here while we have some green flag running. To show you kind of what I was talking about here. It's easier to tell on the older version of the racetrack, 1987's version. But this is uphill. This is 100% uphill right now. Markowski and Smeal have gone wrong ways round. We stay green. Looks like those two are just battling each other at the moment. You can see it's elevated here up into turns 3 and 4. So it's imperative you get to the bottom of the racetrack, which is something that Oberstadt's not really able to do with Josh Gaiman bothering him the way he is. But downhill here in the turns 1 and 2, a lot easier to rip that outside lane. Carry that as much speed as you can. Josh Gaiman back up into that third spot, though. Battling for second place. He's got to make sure not to do what he did earlier when he spun. Josh Gaiman up to second place, but it is a very distant second place, already almost a second behind that of Aaron Edwards. Laps to go and counting down from there. Gaiman crawl back in on Aaron Edwards. Matthew Seeger, freshest tires in the field of those at the front. Can he use that to his advantage to get a hold of his teammate? We'll find out. See some of the marbles picking up off the racetrack. That's off of Oberstadt in the outside lane. Matthew Seeger already up into the third spot. He has carved through the field pretty quick. Now he's got to carve through Josh Gaiman. Gaiman and Edwards on the same tire. They both pit on lap 117. Matthew Seeger on lap 137. So 20 laps the difference. And right now we're seeing what that difference looks like. Up to third. Oberstadt battling for fourth with Matt Vorndren. We have some trucks struggling there. George, Spiel, Matthew Kent, Dale Markowski. They are all struggling right now. Josh Gaiman trying to hold on to second place. I think Seeger's best bet might be in the turns 1 and 2 here. He's going to have the drive out of turn 4 to get to the bottom of the racetrack and force Gaiman to the middle of the road. Trouble for the 31 once again. But he stays in the top 10. Half spin for the 31. And Gaiman almost got cleared there. Going to rally back on the outside lane. He's going to have to rely on that a lot. And Gaiman's going to tank slap himself into the wall and drop down to third. Seeger clear. And now the next target is his teammate. And there are lap down trucks trying to stay on the lap ahead. That is Smeal next on the road. Make that over to George now next on the road. They're battling side by side. And Edwards knows what's coming. Coming to 20 laps to go here in North Wilkesboro. Are we going to see a shootout between the two teammates that have shown that they are not afraid of going elbows out already? Typically, we see a lot of teamwork and camaraderie between the Delta Sport teammates. It's been a lot more physical tonight. Matthew Kent struggling. He goes a lap down. Right to the bumper of him. Smeal next to go a lap down potentially. Teammates nose to tail, trying to get around John Smeal. Conover is slowed and coming down pit lane. Aaron Edwards feels the pressure. Building and building. And trouble! Took a second to look at the timing board. And trouble, Aaron Edwards was battling his teammate there. Oh dear. This is in the turns 3 and 4. Not a good case. Seeger phones his shot in. And that's what we were afraid of. We saw them get physical earlier. And that's what we were really concerned about, was it all going sideways. And that's exactly what happened to Aaron Edwards, who is going to be very unhappy now with his teammate from the front of the field. I do want to take another look here from Matthew Seeger's onboard perspective. He phones it in. He knows he's going to have to send it on his teammate. He knows he's going to have to. That's just rough. That is very rough. And again, just full speed here. Phones it in and sends it. Out. Ugh. That's not great. Not great at all. Edwards, to his credit, still third on the racetrack. But it's going to get a little bit dicey here. Let's put Seeger at the front of the field ahead of Gaiman. Seeger now on the inverse. Everyone else has come down pit lane for tires. Seeger had none left, so now he's got to try to hold off for all he's worth over these next 11 laps. He's hoping for a lot of cautions, is what he's hoping for, and his teammate is right behind him. Oh, the fireworks, I think, are just beginning here in North Wilkesboro. Green flag flies. 11 to go here in North Wilkesboro. Edwards stores Josh Gaiman up the racetrack. What is Seeger going to do? Everyone's getting aggressive. 4 wide through turns 3 and 4. Gaiman wants the race lead. They're going to come together. Loose, loose, loose. There goes Gaiman, and there goes the field. Do they keep it straight enough? No, they do not. You see the caution further behind. Absolutely lit it up and sent it. Vorndren makes out with second place. Everyone tried, and just about everyone failed. That was the caution that was waiting for the entire restart, and it starts with the restart. We'll go back and look at the full restart here. From high above. Blimp cam above North Wilkesboro. McDonough gets to this a little bit. Josh Gaiman gets a big piece of it. There's Steven Oberstadt, the 3. Matt Vorndren, the 0-0. Remember, he goes up to second place. He avoids all of this. 4 wide for just a moment is insane. Elbows out all the way through. Gaiman just never recollects it. He's loose. He doesn't have control of that truck all the way through the straightaway. And everyone goes for a ride. And Seeger gets tagged further back. That is by Steven Oberstadt. So a lot of trucks involved here early on. Spicy. Very, very spicy. Absolutely wild stuff here. Less than 10 laps to go. Coming to, it will be 5 laps to go for the restart here. Coming up on ABN. Looks like I don't have that graphic up and running. But tomorrow night, Winslow Cup Series action from Las Vegas. That is right here on Twitch, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And then we have the HTL Double Barrel Challenge on Monday on Patreon. So back-to-back days of racing as we get ready to go back racing here. 5 to go. Trouble immediately, Feemster. Feemster gets to the fence and drops out of the top 10, potentially. Front of the field, Edwards still. Is he going to get sent by Vorndren? Almost. Through 3 and 4. 4 laps to go. McDonough gets run over. That was by Seeger. Caution has come out again. And this time it's Josh Gaiman. Gaiman, McDonough, and Feemster. Let's take a look as to why we're going into overtime. He just tags the wall. He tags the wall and it just bounces and breaks. Unusual. We will look at ABN slow motion this time and see what's going on. Tags the wall at the rear of the car first. And it just breaks away on him. and that'll end Josh Gaiman's day. Aaron Edwards leads the way. We are under overtime. Ours George gets his lap back. It'll be the 11th car on the lead lap here. Edwards, Vorndren, Oberstadt, Fleming, and Seeger, your top 5. Three attempts to end this race under green. It's overtime here in the ARCS Octane series at North Wilkesboro. First time we've had to use it this season. Aaron Edwards chooses the bottom of the racetrack like normal. Puts Matt Vorndren and his Ram truck up at the top for the outside lane. Row 2, Stephen Oberstadt and Chris Fleming. Row 3 on this restart, Matthew Seeger and Dale Markowski. We are glad you're with us for what could be the final restart of this race. It's been messy, it's been chaotic. They expect the finish to be nothing less. 2 laps to determine it all here in North Wilkesboro. We're underway. Vorndren tried to get to the bumper there, the 15. No avail there. He is clear of everyone else. Can they get to the white flag? 1 lap to go, we do, here in North Wilkesboro. Oberstadt up top, trying to hold on to 3rd. Aaron Edwards, spun by his teammate earlier in the race. He comes back, spin to win for Aaron Edwards. He wins at North Wilkesboro. Vorndren in 2nd. Stephen Oberstadt holds off the points leader, Matthew Seeger, for the podium in North Wilkesboro. Chris Fleming finishes 5th. But it is Aaron Edwards, your race winner here in North Wilkesboro. A wild race. Some congratulations to some of the drivers in the field, and he will burn it down. Spin to win for Aaron Edwards here in North Carolina. That's a drift just a little bit. What a fantastic moment there for Aaron Edwards. He wins in North Wilkesboro in style. That was a wild race. We'll talk to our podium finishers here in just a second. Here's the full results from North Wilkesboro. Aaron Edwards grabs the race win over Matt Vorndren. Stephen Oberstadt ends up in 3rd. Matthew Seeger from pole position. Rough race for him. Recovers to 4th place. Chris Fleming in 5th. Dale Markowski 6th. Then it's Colin McDonough, Ours George, Matthew Kent, and Kevin Feemster in the top 10 here tonight. John Smeal, Josh Gaiman round out the top 12 there. And looking further down, Dylan Van Wart, the last finisher of this race. Aaron Conover, Brent Roberts, and Cody Pennell retiring early in this event. See if we can talk to our podium finishers here. Not seeing Steven Oberstadt available, so we'll move along. Let's go ahead and start with Matt Vorndren, second place finisher here tonight. After a wild and chaotic race here in North Wilkesboro, Matt Vorndren, walk us through it. That was that a little bit like we were expecting, or was it a little bit wild?
I mean, that's pretty typical North Wilkesboro turn one, wild and crazy. I was expecting it, and you pray and you just bomb it in there as hard as you can, because that's what everyone behind you is going to do. So if you allow any sort of leniency or room on the start, you're just going to get clobbered. And obviously, I came out ahead during that kerfuffle. I had the low line and got to drive under all of it. So, I mean, I felt like the top five was pretty even paced all night long. This track's really tough to pass without a little help from the bumper on entry. But it's pretty cool because it is sort of multi-groove down in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is a little tougher, but yeah, that was crazy. I saw people getting bumped and shuffled up, and then those people up top were getting messed up. So I just went as low as I could.
It works out for you here. Obviously, second place, a fantastic run, a wild race. I think kind of par for the course for North Wilkesboro. Last time we were here on the older version, it was about the same way. We go from chaotic short oval to probably one of the more chaotic intermediates. We go to Nashville Super Speedway next week, and that track is known to chew the tires up. This track, these trucks got updates. Obviously, they got the Ram on screen now, that the fourth addition to the field. But a lot of updates to this truck otherwise, going into a tire eater like Nashville. What's the expectation next week?
I don't know if I'm known for my long run speed, but usually I'm really good on long run and not the greatest on short. But it's just with any of these fixed setups, the whole key is keeping temperature of the right front. And there's multiple ways of doing that, and making that right front last longer. So I feel pretty confident going into Nashville. I know I've finished well there before, in next gen and in the trucks too, I believe. So, yeah, it is, but it is tough. Everyone's pretty even on there, but it is a tire care track for sure.
4 races down. We have 21 races to go. The season has just started, but the 00 looking consistent in these early races here. You talk about long run pace being important, especially going into next week. Before we get to that point, though, obviously a lot of work to go into. Obviously, A Squared tomorrow night, a lot of racing throughout the week as well. Before we let you go and let you focus on getting ready for the racing coming up, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Fantastic looking race car tonight. The highest place Ram of the field. 7 in this field. You were the best of the bunch.
Woo!
Second place tonight.
Yeah, she's looking good with the ABN on it, right? I wanted to kind of surprise you.
I got a question from Feaster. I just didn't know who was running it, so I do appreciate
it. Yeah, I feel like you wouldn't mind if I ran it. I'm not a butthead, so not saying anybody else is, but yeah, I appreciate you putting this on. Yeah, right. I appreciate everyone running. I know it got a little hairy there. Steven definitely played a part in playing defense in that, so shout out to him. Lovely wife, rooting me on in the other room, and all the friends and family that come out to watch. And then Beamster putting this on, and all the admins. Appreciate it. Thank you.
A phenomenal job from Matt Vorndren, second place here tonight. A phenomenal run to continue his good form, top 10 in points by a wide margin as we head into Nashville next Saturday. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We will see you next week.
Absolutely. We're going to be here. Again, that is Nashville Super Speedway next Saturday here on ABN. We don't get to hear from Stephen Oberstadt. We will go ahead and hear from our race winner, who had a bit of an adventure spin to win off the nose of a teammate to do so, no less. But Aaron Edwards, a couple weeks, we haven't been able to see you on the racetrack. We get to see you here in North Wilkesboro, and you grabbed the race win. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Pleasure to be here. I love North Wilkesboro. Trucks are a ton of fun. I don't have a whole lot of experience racing short track with the trucks, but tonight was a lot of fun. But no, you said it. It was a spin to win. Off the nose of the teammate, a little bit of controversy. That's just short track racing. We all got over it. It's just good, hard, fun racing. But that put me honestly in a really good spot there. That's the caution I needed. So he was, if he didn't cause the caution there and dump me, he probably would have won the race. So no, ton of fun though.
It looked like a lot of fun. Obviously, elbows out throughout the race for whether it was at the front of the field or further back. We saw that wasn't the first time you and Seeger had kind of gotten elbows out and went door to door. You talk about it, and that was, I think, the general theme is that you just have to be a little bit more physical here at North Wilkesboro to make things happen. You didn't have to worry about that until late in the race. That's sort of where it gets a little bit more scary, is when it is later in the race and you start running out of that time, though. Walk us through, though, sort of just getting into that spot. You talk about the caution being sort of what you needed. You ended up third on that restart as a result. What was it just the tire wear falling apart that quickly, or what was sort of the situation leading into that?
Yeah, tires meant a lot. I mean, me and Seeger, we've been going at each other for a long time. So us running elbows out next to each other, it's nothing new. He hits me, I hit him back, and we just laugh it off. It's good fun. But no, tire wear meant a lot, and that caution set me up in a really, really good spot. Took that restart and shot it down into one, tried to split the middle, kind of had to, I don't know if I came up, he came down, kind of got in the game in a little bit and shot the middle. He got tight, washed up the track, and he got down there into three, and I don't know, we were 4 wide, I think, getting down into 3. That was a very entertaining restart, but no, we were able to come out of it the other end in a really good spot, leading the race, and just tried to maintain it from there. Simple as that.
And obviously it works out here. Survived the restarts with pretty easy applause there at the end as well to hold on to the race win here. Obviously, we don't get to see you all the time here in the High Octane series. Coming back and grabbing a race win, obviously a big deal here. That being said, it seems like you're running a little bit more on the part-time schedule. When's the next time we are going to see you on the racetrack here in High Octane?
I'm not certain. I'm not sure. I mean, I could show up any week, really. I really, really enjoy the short track stuff. I'm at my point in like the ARCS career where I kind of just show up for the outside of the series where I'm full time in A squared and in TNT. I kind of just show up for the tracks that I think would be fun for me to just go racing with some guys at the end of the day. So I'm not sure. I have to look at the schedule, but who knows? It could be next week. I don't know if I've ever won a high octane truck race. I might have. I don't really remember, but this was a really good race. And if I haven't, it's fun to finally punch that ticket and win a truck race. Yeah, had a blast.
A lot more fun to come here as well in the High Octane series. Nashville next Saturday, and then we go to St. Petersburg, the Streets of St. Pete on March 28th, and then New Hampshire on April 4th. The next 3 races on the docket here in High Octane. Before we let you go and obviously get ready for the A Square race tomorrow night, we talked about that with Matt Vorndren earlier, also racing in that series. Before we let you go and get ready for tomorrow night's race, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. A lot of fun seeing the Delta Sport trucks battling it out here tonight. We saw a lot of that here in North Wilkesboro. Take it away and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I gotta do the plug, Sim Shop and Delta Sport and Unified Potential. Thanks for put me in the car, showing people what I can do. I love repping these colors. I love the team. Thanks to Brian and Kyle, as always. And Autoverse, all of our partners. I'm just so happy to be part of this amazing team and have awesome teammates like Seeger. But we are going to have to debrief. We're going to have to talk about how he needs to learn where the nose of his car is. But other than that, just very thankful.
A fantastic job for Aaron Edwards, race winner tonight here in North Wilkesboro, with Nashville looming next Saturday. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was Aaron Edwards, your race winner here tonight. A fantastic job for him, race winner here in North Wilkesboro. Reminder that if you want to see more content here on ABN, follow us on Patreon. Same amount as a Twitch subscription. As we get ready to move over to YouTube full-time beginning April 1st, you do not want to miss a thing. A lot of content coming up here this month in the month of March, so join us. QR code bottom left of your screen. That'll do it for us here in the North Wilkesboro Speedway. 4 races down, 21 to go. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Winslow Cup Series race from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On behalf of everyone here for ABN, for ARCS, for High Octane, and all of its partners, I'm Carmen Sienna. Stay safe and stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night. So long, everybody.